Yes, good afternoon, dear. It is yo, okay guys, we're live. Is the kid, 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 is the kid. Actually even forgot to even put the Copa American in. So guys, look, man, we are gonna be, I know it says what it says here. So on the agenda for today, we're gonna be doing, of course, the Nations League, Portugal winning the Nations League. We may have to now revisit the Ballon d'Or voting, talking about maybe Uncle Mo going to Newcastle with the whole takeover. But we have to also address the Copa America. So in case you don't know, the Copa America begins. It begins, I believe, Friday or Saturday?
Friday. Yeah, next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay. So it begins next Friday. So this is, of course, is the best possibly place for
AFCON.
Right through and do this stuff. So I think a dude in charge just asked whether I will be doing a post match on the Champions League. Chill, I will. Just look, patience. I had to go on a flipping holiday, bro. Okay, so just chill, man. I'll give you that stuff. Just chill. So let's review it, man. Now, people say that the Nations League is basically trash. It's a friendly league. It's a glorified friendly. No one cares. But maybe I'm wrong. But the way that I was seeing how guys were playing this Nations League and the intensity that I saw people playing this Nations League with, for me, it looks as if people are actually taking this pretty seriously. So let's start first with this. Where do we now rank this Portuguese team, and how well do we think that they can do in the Euros? Nish, let's start with you. How well do we rank this Portuguese team, and how well can they defend their title at the Euros, led by himself, Cristiano Ronaldo?
I mean, yeah, Portugal can defend their title in the Euros, because the thing is that, now in the Euros, I think that third place group stage advancement rule still applies, right? So they can, go through the same route. They can get a, easy-ish, route to the final again. Yeah, in a final, I think, the thing is that this team just has the personality and the attitude to win. So I think I can see them defending their crown. They're not going to be favorites, but that's going to help them because they do better when they're underdogs. They're one of those teams. So yeah, I think they can. Yeah. And,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before going to Juju, man, guys, stop it. Bernardo Silva is a very good player. Don't call him. Don't put him in the same category as Messi. Stop it. Don't do it. Oh, and also
he's better. He's better.
No. Just chill. Before I go to Juju, man. June 14th, Maradona doc is out. June 14th, Maradona doc is out. Huge release, massive release. Juju, man.
Preach it.
Portugal, how good are this team? Can they win the Euros? How impressed were you by their Nations League victoire?
I was impressed by Carvalho and Danilo. I like
Carvalho is that dude. Carvalho. I've been preaching about Carvalho for years. Nobody has listened to me. That guy is a key midfielder for any team.
Black is
this is black excellence because the way they what's it called? FG mentioned it. He said the way they're resistant to the press. I'm surprised no one is buying them. They were so cool and composed in this final, especially in the second half. The one I focused on. I think they were so cool and composed, and I was impressed with the two players. And then another one was the other defender next to Font. Diaz. Yeah, Diaz was another good player. And in the future, this team, I think, Santos. No, the defender Santos is overachieving. He's overachieving because he's doing a great job.
He's a very good tactician. He may not be attacking and very flamboyant, but he knows how to win and he knows how to make it difficult for you to break his teams down.
Yeah, and for the next Euros next year, I think this team it's all about these days. You look at teams like Tottenham making it to the final. I mean, it's possible they can win. It's possible, but the other better teams, but it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No. For me, I'll tell you. I'll maybe expand a bit more. I am very impressed with this Portuguese team. But what I will say though is it's all about, and I'll probably say this more in my post-match analysis, it's all about setups and matchups. Because I still think this Portuguese team will struggle against a Uruguay who wouldn't give you space. I think Netherlands gave Portugal a lot of space, and they were able to exploit it because the amount of space and counters that Portugal had, you weren't having that with a defensive team or with a Uruguay. So again, it's all about matchups. So FG, your hero, your idol, your whatever
the goat,
your preach, your god or whatever you hell you want to call it. So how good is this Portuguese team? Can they actually go ahead and win the Euros next year?
I don't know if they can win it, but they'll definitely be in the contention. I think this Portuguese team is probably the best team since the 06 and the 04 ones. But it's just a shame that this team happened when Cristiano is at the wrong end of 30s. If this team came a couple years before, I think they could have done something in the World Cup too. But speaking of Euros, I think they'll reach semis max.
Semis
max? Yeah, semis max. Because I still think France can beat them because I think the Portuguese defense is too slow, and France has a lot of fast players.
But Santos is a very good defensive tactician. Man.
Yeah, but
so the
so
defenders
is Deschamps. So is Deschamps. They're a defensive team. So France. So who knows?
All right. So before I go to Hazem, so Gatlock with the super chat. So Gatlock says, which was more interesting, the Champions League or the Nations Finals? Is that a trick question?
No, Nations League final was more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, come on, bro. The Champions League final is probably the worst final I've probably ever seen in my life. The Nations League final was a lot. That was actually a pretty good game. That was a pretty good game. So yeah, Nations League final by far. So Hazem, Portugal, talk to me. Can these guys defend their title? How impressed were you by the EuroLeague, or is it a case of no one cares about the EuroLeague?
No, look, of course, EuroLeague isn't one of the big competitions. It's still up and coming. Maybe it will grow. It's still not at the top, but this is a final, and some very good teams were in the competition. And Portugal, I have to say, I was impressed. And congratulations. And in this final, they had a very good first half. They're constantly putting pressure. Very nice link-ups in the attack between Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, that guy looks good, man. I mean, seriously, that guy, something Silva and Bruno Fernandes.
Silva and Fernandes, wow. These guys can really take Portugal somewhere. And they're really causing problems in attack. Always threat on goal, taking many shots. And very good crosses from Silva. And, of course, Danilo Carvalho. These guys have a very good base of a team. And look, man, they won the Euros and the Nations League. They're showing some kind of dominance in Europe. And I know World Cup didn't go too well for them, but next Euros, you have to look out for them. You have to look out for them.
No, because as you said, who beat them? A South American team. So
yeah, exactly. And look, man, as for Ronaldo's side of it, he should really look at this next Euros and say, wow, he can really take this. And if he wins this next Euros, wow, I mean, this guy internationally, he's doing well, but he's still that World Cup, he needs it as well. But 2 Euros, I would say it's a huge achievement.
Oh no, I mean, no, 100%. 2 Euros would be amazing, but again, with no World Cup, don't talk to me about being a GOAT. So that's
what? Nah, that's not fair.
FG, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. What the hell? You just had your.
He plays in a small.
I knew you were gonna on mute. I knew you were gonna.
He plays. Wait. He plays in a small country.
FG, you've talked. How come Milan? Portugal. Let's be a force. Yes or
no? I have to say these are the most reliable players I could ever see in football's history. You can rely on them in big moments, in crucial moments, to get you that goal, that game-winning goal to help you win.
Then why didn't they pull through against Uruguay in the World Cup then?
No. Because this is the thing. You don't understand it. Uruguay, right? The Uruguay's defense is strong. It's solid. It's not that easy to get by Uruguay's defense.
True.
Well, and you guys also have to understand that Uruguay team, that's not any easy team. That's Cavani, Suarez, Stuani. These are like players who are made for the World Cup. They're made for this knockout competition. And in knockout games, they can prove themselves, and they showed it against Ghana in 2010. So I don't know why you guys think that oh, because Portugal lost to Uruguay, they're not reliable. No, they are reliable because even today they played against a Holland side who I can say they have two of the most overrated players in history, De Jong and I would say maybe De Ligt.
What? It is.
And the thing is, no, but to be honest, let's be honest, De Ligt is overrated. The thing
man,
is,
just make your points, man. What the hell?
okay, so my point is CR7. I want to say this, HH.
Yeah.
I told you last week, he needs to be in the Ballon d'Or list. I don't care.
Yes,
what
yes.
Oh boy.
We'll address that. That's the next topic.
he needs to be in that Ballon d'Or list. Remove like
Wait. Just hold that thought. We'll address the
God.
next topic. All right, Rahimski, Portugal. What can this Portuguese team do, man?
I mean, just think about the history of Portugal. They've never actually won anything. So I think Santos has to get most of the credit for this.
Yeah, preach.
That was anyone that doesn't think that was an absolute tactical outclass that he showed against Coman is out of their mind. The way not only the substitution, just the entire approach of the game. Also, what Bernardo Silva's done, I think you have to possibly include him on the Ballon d'Or podium this year.
Whoa! Oh, wait. Let's chill on the Ballon d'Or talk to begin with, but we will definitely get there. But that's a huge statement. But let's just save that for now. But yeah, so can they win the Euros next year?
No, I don't think they can win the Euros.
Semis max, finals max.
Yeah, I think semis max for this Portugal team because they've already outdone what they could, and I think it's another team's time to shine.
Okay, Red.
Yeah. So just repeat the question, HH, just to make sure. How do we rate the?
How good do you think this Portuguese team can do? And also, is it me or do Red and Rahimski sound exactly the same?
We've been saying it for months, man. We've been saying for months.
That's so funny, yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously. I'm like, wait, these guys sound exactly the same. It's pretty weird.
Red's voice is deeper.
Yeah, no. I didn't. Literally, they have almost the same kind of tone to their voice. It is scary.
We're from the same area. We're from the same area. That's why we have the same accent.
All right.
Yeah,
So, can these? How well do you think this Portuguese team can do in the Euros based on them winning these two trophies, the Euros and this Nations League?
I think they'll probably make a good run in the Euros, but I don't see them winning it. I think there's too many quality teams out there that could give them a hard time. Like somebody already mentioned France, Germany are in a rebuilding phase, so like they might be scared. We don't know what kind of Germany team is going to turn up. You also have the Netherlands right now. Like I felt like even though I agree with Ramsey when he said that. Like he was outclassed today, but I don't think he's gonna make the same mistakes twice. And plus, these players are continuing to grow. These are young players in the Netherlands team, so next year there can be a whole different bunch. So I don't really think that Portugal are really favorites going into that Euros. They're gonna have a good chance. They're gonna be among the favorites, but they're no clear-cut favorites. Aside from that, I want to just give credit to this whole squad. Like the whole squad as a whole. Like these players, they got because we don't want to turn this into like it's just purely a Ronaldo thing because yes, he did score a vital hat trick, but the squad as a whole, they got Ronaldo to that semi-final. He got them to that final, and then they got him that trophy. Like it was a whole team effort. It was and like I think they should just be proud of themselves. Like this Portugal squad has overachieved. They are the greatest Portugal side of all time. Yeah. That is a fact now. That is a fact. They've won 2 trophies. They have more final appearances. More they've gone farther in any competition since Eusebio in the early World Cup in the 60s. Like by far, like this has been they've overachieved, and yeah, kudos to them. Congrats.
All right, Ritz, Portugal, what can these boys do next summer?
Yeah, so before anything, since I don't go back on my word, I would like to apologize for my wrong prediction of Liverpool and Dortmund winning their respective league.
I wrote it on my paper, bro. I wrote it on. I still have other paper.
Yeah. So the apology out of the way now. Coming to Portugal's team, it's actually a very well-stacked team now. Like if you see the overall team, it's much better. This guy called Ruben Diaz from the centre back really impressed me. Okay, and then the overall team is better. Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, I wouldn't say they're favorite for the they're one of the favorites for the Euros, but they'll definitely be up there.
Okay.
And sorry, one last thing I want to add. You guys mentioned William Carvalho. This guy, man, I have no idea how he's still playing for Real Betis. Like a big club has to snatch him, because even for Betis this season, he's been incredible. He's been one of their best players. And it's a Betis team that beat Real Madrid and that beat Barcelona at the Camp Nou 4-3.
I agree.
For years, man, and people have been saying, "Oh, what the hell?" For at least the last 3, 4, 5 years, I said, "No, this guy is a very important player."
And people can go back to the Uruguay match. He was man of the match. Him and Pepe were the best players on that pitch during that Uruguay match when he went out.
Okay, so Sadra, Goodmans, and round us off. So Portugal, can they go ahead and win the Euros next summer based on their 2 trophies?
Yeah. As like we've already seen like success in pragmatic counter-attacking styles in Holland before already. Portugal, obviously. And like I don't know how many like great other teams in Europe can Portugal really fit, to be honest. Maybe France, Spain, but they can easily counter and pragmatic style them. Like there aren't as many like great teams as there was before. Germany have declined as well, and Portugal can only get better with their young players. They can't get any worse. So this should be an even better team in 2 years' time.
Okay, so let's talk Ballon d'Or now. Now, for me, I still feel that we need to wait until after the Copa America and the African Nations Cup. But just for argument's sake, let's just act as if the Ballon d'Or voting was done tonight and as of right now. For me, I'll start things off. Van Dijk has to be in there. That is a dead set. 100% is going to be in there. I've still got to roll with Messi. I've still got to roll with Messi because people can say, "Okay, he didn't win the Champions League. Look at how
picked up the mic, man."
Chill, man. Let me land him. What the hell? Talk about the Champions League. He messed up. He messed up in the thing. But this is about what you've done as an individual. As an individual, when you look at what he's done and how he has carried what has been a pretty brickish team, it has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, as for the third spot, this is where it gets tricky. Now, let's just say this was done as of right now, and we're not counting the Copa America or the Nations Cup. So as of right now, that's that spot. We're just looking as for individual quality, what you've done for a season. I'm going to have to give it to Raheem Sterling, because the reason why I'm going to roll with Sterling is 3 trophies, his best ever season, a major critical part of those 3 trophies, the amount of hat tricks he's won, the amount of assists he's been given, based on trophies won, consistency of performance, clutch performances and clutch moments. I've got to put all those things into account. Sterling. So Van Dijk, Messi, Sterling. Mane, who are you rolling with for your Ballon d'Or? Okay, wait. Before you answer that, very quickly, Portugal, can they win the Euros next summer based on what they did in the Nations League?
For me, no. They were even lucky to win this one. I mean, you can't win a major tournament like that without a striker. So I've always said, even that's why Holland didn't win today. It's Memphis Depay and Ryan Babel. I had to double check the team sheet because Ryan Babel, I mean, that guy, 2007 player.
Yeah, no, that's just wild, man.
It's shocking. So I mean, I don't know. They might get lucky like they did last time, with going into the round of 16, finishing third in your group kind of thing. But other than that, I don't see how they'll be a force, really. They might be maybe quarterfinals, maybe if they get lucky with the draw and all that. But I don't see them winning, no.
Okay. I should wait a bit. Before you go to 3, I think a lot of people are sort of attacking me right now, and people are mentioning Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva would be my number 4, and he has been amazing. 100% amazing. For me, I believe that Sterling has had a better season than Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva's got 4 trophies. He's got a Nations League too.
So,
you saw Sterling in the Nations League? He was garbage.
No. Basically, that's for me. A Nations League doesn't give him a one-up for him to be like, okay, because if we're going to count the Nations League, okay, then let's count in Cristiano as well. Yes, it's for me. Nations League lies basically. Nations League, I say, is at the same level as a Confederations Cup, where it's not a friendly, but it's also not a real major trophy. So it lies between those two. So it is close, but for me, I just have to say now, like, look, man, I just think Sterling has edged this over Bernardo Silva because Sterling has had a greater impact for Man City than Bernardo Silva has. Even Bernardo Silva has been bloody amazing, and he was amazing in the game. So, Manny, give me your 3 Ballon d'Or.
For me, number one has to be Messi. I mean, just because he lost in that semifinal, which was more lack of defensive focus by Barcelona than Messi doing bad. But I'll give him because he's a top scorer in Europe, and he's not even trying to be like other people like Salah who actually stat padding.
He's not trying.
But for Messi, I think Messi has to be number one for me. Number two. It's tough. I mean, it has to be between Salah and Mane. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I'll give it to Salah. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll give it to Salah because he has been consistent over 2 years, so he has to get in. And number three, I'll give it to the Dream, Raheem the Dream.
Wait, Mane. So you're not putting. I know that you hate Liverpool and you despise them. You're not putting Van Dijk in the top three.
He hasn't been that impressive to me as people claim. People just want somebody to root for. Like last year was Modric.
Okay, what about the fact that he's not been
made
by 7 or 8 guys? That's weird stuff I see happening on Twitter or something.
But he's never been dribble past.
You got it right with Salah.
Well, he always. First of all, that needs. People need to put an asterisk based on that because it's based on your playing style. If you're so well covered by your midfield, Henderson runs all over the place. James Milner covers ground. Their midfield moves about, is very involved defensively, and he's usually organizes the defense, so he doesn't get that chance to be one-on-one with people that often. And even then, he's easily dribbled past. Like you saw Sterling embarrassed him, and he resorted to pushing him to the ground. In the Nations League.
No,
so it's very.
He still single-handedly improved the Liverpool defense, though. You can't rule that.
Wait, man. Just round off your points. We have to hear guys. Round off your point.
Okay, so just because he improved Liverpool's defense doesn't make him Ballon d'Or. So now no Van Dijk for me. I'm not impressed. He's good, but he's not.
Okay. So your three are Messi, Salah, and Sterling.
Yes.
All right, Jujuman, your three for the Ballon d'Or.
My three is Messi is winning this Ballon d'Or. Even Van Dijk said it. Van Dijk believes he's no better than Messi. So I'll give Messi should win. He was the best player. I mean he's an amazing player and he was the best player this year. And then second position. I mean, a PT award, we'll give it to Van Dijk because, he's improved Liverpool defense, but I bet there are other defenders in other leagues that have improved their defense. But he won the Champions League, so I'll give him. He got
the CL, man. He got
the CL, and Liverpool looked defensively solid because of Van Dijk. And for the third one, this one is like. I don't even know who they're going to give to this one because Mbappe started parted in Ligue A, but he has a.
No, Judgment, don't mention Mbappe. Don't do it.
No, but he has a few. I think he has a good future. So I'll put Mbappe because.
No, I reject that pick. Pick another person. No,
because what's it called?
No, Judgment. No League of players. No League of players are allowed to be in this top three. Don't do it. Sorry, pick another player. League of players are not allowed.
No, because wait. Sorry, I can't think of another player because Hazard. Europa League. We don't give Ballon d'Ors for Europa League. I'm sorry. I know he's signed for Madrid, but Europa League. This is low standard.
Wait. So there's a rule where you can't give a guy a player for Europa League. Why not?
You finish like third in Europa League.
That's pretty good.
Since when do we give third place finishes like Ballon d'Or podium finishes? Maybe team of the year, I guess, but top 3 in the world. I don't know. He'll have to wait until next season. I know Double H, but I'll just give it to Mbappe because he's the only one of the few players that has improved since last year. And even though he failed miserably, he failed miserably against United in that second leg. I think he's top 3. He's the third player I'll pick because he'll be there. He'll be there in the next few years a couple of times.
All right. Okay. FG, your top 3.
First of all, before I go into top 3, I just want to say I don't know how Messi is in this top 3. You don't score. You can't make a top 3 when you score 50 goals against Farmers. And then you pick up a mic
based on individual performance, man.
No, it's not, man. It's about trophies. Nowadays, it's trophies
and popularity.
Okay, yeah. For third place, I'm gonna say Van Dijk. He's been the best center back this season and probably the most consistent player for Europe. Second, I'm gonna say Bernardo Silva. For me, he's been City's. Yes, he's been City's best player. Yes,
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he's been.
So actually, Britain Bernardo Silva is the second best player in the world. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. You can make that claim.
Jesus.
He's been City's best player this season. Even
No,
over
he
Sterling.
hasn't. No, he hasn't.
I mean, it's between him and Sterling, and then he won a Nations League. That's that international trophy. And then first place is gonna be Ronaldo. Obviously, because
No. Give me a logical idea why the hell you're gonna put Cristiano as
okay. Because he's 34 years old. He's been to a new team in a defensive team. He's excelled there. He's won the Serie A third. He's the only player in history to win a Serie A, Premier League, and La Liga. Then he's won an international trophy, a second one for Portugal. Both of their trophies, international trophies, came from Ronaldo's era. So that's
FG, sorry to break it to you. You know that Juve won the Serie A 7 times in a row before Cristiano got there.
So what about Messi then? He won La Liga last season and the season before that.
He was there though, no?
So what difference does it make if you keep winning La Liga and you deserve to be in top 3?
He's part of it.
Okay. Actually, let me ask you this: which is harder to win, the La Liga or the Serie A?
Serie A, because you actually have teams actually competing. Unlike Real Madrid, who lose in the league.
No, he has a point. Last season,
wait. So FG. So now, just use your brain logically now. Juventus have won the Serie A 7 times in a row.
Barca won it 7 in 10 years. Barca have won it 7 times in 10 years.
No, FG has a point.
In the last.
So answer to me. Just use your logic here.
Here's my answer. In the last 10 years, Juventus won the league 8 times. In the last 10 years, Barcelona won the league 8 times. You tell me which is a one-team league.
Ronaldo was there when Messi won it.
And it's a one-team league. So what do you want me to say? Both leagues.
Ronaldo was there when Messi won it 8 times.
And both those teams and both those titles he won were more impressive.
But did Barcelona win 7 times in a row?
Bro, they won the same amount of times in the decade. What difference does it make if it's
exactly? What's the row? Who cares? Row or square?
They both won it 7 or 8 times in one decade.
Look, basically, in your logic, you're saying to me that it is harder to win the Serie A with Juventus than it is to win La Liga with Barcelona.
Yes, because yes.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Okay, Hazem.
Let me just add to FG's thing. I'm not putting Ronaldo on my list, but I just want to say last season Napoli was closing in. They almost won it, and when Ronaldo joined this season, he pulled Juventus clear of Napoli. So he was the difference in that.
Well, didn't Napoli also drop off by 20 points?
Yeah, they did, but they still had a good season.
But
and
almost.
As for my top 3 list, first has to go to Van Dijk. Has been a great defender this year. Like you can't deny it. He's probably been the best defender in the world. Number 2, have to give it to Messi. I mean, you can't just dismiss all his goals in La Liga and say it was against farmers, because these are like proper teams. They're not all farmers. We have some good teams in La Liga, and if it was just all farmers, then all the players there will be scoring so many goals. Number 3, I have to drop Salah out of it for now.
Oh wow!
Because I'll just wait till AFCON and the beginning of next season, and then maybe he'll get in. But I'm gonna put Fabinho.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man. I'm putting Fabinho because this guy has been Liverpool's best player in the Champions League.
What kind of?
Yeah, man. Who is the man of the match so many times?
Wait. Hazem, relax. Do you realize that that means you're saying that Fabinho is the 3rd best player in the world?
Yes, this season, yep.
He's not even the 3rd best player for Brazil.
Yep.
Not even better than Henderson.
I'm putting Fabinho because look, man, in the Champions League, how many times was he the man of the match? This guy,
Fabinho's season started in February.
Literally pocketed Messi in the second leg. This guy was so huge for Liverpool this season in the Champions League. And also in the league, he played very well. So
wait. Hazem, people are calling you high and they troll. on.
Okay, man. You people, man. Why do you're just gonna disrespect Fabinho because he's not charismatic and he's not that famous yet? Come on,
Yo,
man.
if he was a midget, they would all support him, man.
Put some respect on
FC, come
the
on.
underrated roles. And just because he's not talked about, that doesn't mean he didn't do some work. This guy.
Okay, no. It's fair. Look, man, it's fair. That's such a thing. Hardcore Milan, your top three, please.
So I'm gonna say something first before I get to my top.
Sure. It's a free country.
Okay. I don't know, and this is now me being mean. So for La Liga, and I'm gonna explain La Liga. So for La Liga, right? The reason why La Liga for me is a farmers league is because if you look at, aside from Real Madrid and Barcelona, look at the other top teams in La Liga like Sevilla and Atletico and so forth. They don't have a Champions League in their ranks. I did this research, HH, a couple of days ago where I looked at the amount of Premier League teams who has won the UCL compared to La Liga teams, and La Liga teams it divides among Barcelona and Real Madrid. No other club aside from Barcelona and Real Madrid has ever won the UCL, and then it brings me back to my point. So should we really consider a guy who I could say he's bottled 4 times in a row? He's drastically, yes, he scored goals in I consider the Farmers League because again, they don't have any other UCL winners except for Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Atletico Madrid won though, didn't they?
No, they've based on my research, they've won only Europa League.
Sorry. You said Champions League. Sorry, Champions League. Okay, carry on.
Yeah. So for me, Laessi does not get into this Ballon d'Or list because I'm saying this again, HH. He to me is top 20 this season. He doesn't deserve to be in top 3 at all.
That's crazy. That's just your hate talking.
No. Because
basically you have PTSD and you're pissed off based on what happened. At the very least, top 5 at the very least. So, and I know that. So
okay, HH. Based on research, Messi has. If you looked at that United side, he scored against.
No, bro. Give me your top 3, man. Just give me your flipping top 3, man. Okay. Give me your research after the bloody hangout. Send it to me like in a bloody fax machine or something. Give me your top 3.
Okay. I'll give it to you. So I'm gonna be honest, right? For number 1, I'm gonna go with I want to say Van Dijk. Mainly because Van Dijk has been this kind of guy where, for me, I used to play center back, so I know how hard it is to play center back. To not get passed by for a whole entire season is not easy. Trust me, HH. I've played center back before. It's not easy to not get passed by. Like, it's very, very tough. Your concentration levels, your communication.
Are we still at number 1? Can you get to number 2?
Give me a lecture.
No.
You've taken up the last 3 hours. Give me your flip.
Yeah, hurry up.
Okay.
Give me your number 3. Bloody hell, it takes you like 3,000 years.
Number two is CR7. Number 2 is CR7.
Okay.
And then number 3, I'm gonna go with. This is a hard one, but I'm gonna go if Mane wins the African Cup of Nations.
No, now. As of right now. Just
as of right
now, who do you go with?
I'm gonna go with Hazard.
Thank you. All right, Rahimski, give me your 3, please.
Jesus, that was long. Oh my God. Okay. My 3rd place, I'd probably go with. This might surprise a few people, but I would go with Sadio Mane.
Yo, fix your mic. You're quite low, bro.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go with Sadio Mane over Salah just because I think his goals have been more clutch. For number 2, I would go with Van Dijk. Obviously, I'm a Ramos fan. I appreciate what Ramos has done, but what Ramos hasn't done is be extremely successful, only lose one game in the league, and then win the Champions League like Van Dijk did.
2012. Let's see.
I think one game. Like we're talking about one game throughout no one is able to get past this guy. So he'd go for my second. First has to be Messi. I think you're crazy. I think what Hardcore Milan or whatever your new name is said is
Milanista. Hardcore Milanista.
Yeah. What he said is ridiculous. Messi's easily been the best player in the year for me. He's had the most influence single-handedly on his team. Van Dijk is in a better team than Messi.
Wait, what influence? He won La Liga, the same trophy he's been winning for like the past 10 years.
The Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or is a test of your contribution individually. Van Dijk is in a better team. Messi's
better team.
I disagree.
Messi has players who were bought for 140 million, 160
million. Wait, guys, just chill. Let him speak. But Liverpool are a better team than Barcelona as far as last season goes. That is a fact. Take with that what you will, but Liverpool are the better team.
Right, and for my 17th place, I'll put Ronaldo because no one cares about Serie A. Thank you. Go on.
Whoa. Okay. Red, your 3, please.
Yeah. Okay. First, I'll start off from third place. He has to be mentioned, and I hate to be reactionary, but Bernardo Silva. Like, let's be honest. I'm sorry, HH, I disagree with you. Raheem Sterling has not been better than Bernardo Silva because people were saying.
Wait, Red. So tell me that Bernardo Silva is the third best player in the world.
Yes, and that's honestly fair, and that's very fair. Yes, that's actually fair because I'll tell you why. Yeah, he's better than Fabinho, man. Come on, bro. Please. Fabinho started playing in February. For half the season, he wasn't even playing. Come on,
bro. We're talking about 2018. Ballon d'Or is 2019, bro.
Oh, true. So sorry, I'm going all season, but still, I guess he's not even called up for the Copa America, so he's not going to be given a shout. So let's be honest. So, but for Bernardo Silva, if it wasn't Van Dijk that won it Player of the Season this season, it would have been Bernardo Silva. He was insane. He won Player of the Month for how many times? He's been incredible for Man City. And
even Pep said it.
Yeah, and Raheem Sterling, yes, he scored hat-tricks, but so did Aguero. Aguero scored hat-tricks back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken, this season. So Bernardo Silva was the only constant factor in all of those. And let's not forget that City were missing De Bruyne for large chunks of the season. And Bernardo Silva came in, and people honestly forgot about De Bruyne. Like he covered that role so well. No, of course they didn't. Of course, it's hyperbole, but I mean, like he was able to get them 97 points this season because he was ruling. That was his midfield this season. So what I'm trying to say is, I think Bernardo Silva, especially after today's win, and he was man of the match, and was honestly Portugal's most consistent player throughout this whole competition. I'm talking from the group stages early on in the year up until the semi and the final. He's been the most consistent player in Portugal. So he deserves that third spot. Second, Van Dijk. And of course, like people are really like, come on, like let's give this guy his credit. Let's not say, oh, it's a team effort or no, this team was there before Van Dijk and they were conceding goals like hell. First game last season, 2017, they were 3-0 up against Watford. Watford came back and scored 3 offset pieces. That doesn't happen with Van Dijk. Van Dijk improved that defense, played 38 games, only lost 1. That's incredible. This has been solid for Liverpool's defense, and the reason why the defense is so well organized because he's that general in the background telling them what to do. And you even saw that against Barcelona when he was one-on-one with Messi. He didn't commit and just let Messi dribble past him. No, he was like, "You cover me. I'm not going in for the tackle. Make sure he doesn't have that space. Don't let him exploit that space." That's genius on his part. So he deserves that second spot. And number 1, it's a no-brainer. It's Messi. Like, and it's not because he won La Liga. It's because of the goals he was scoring. He was just scoring ridiculous amount of goals. He was assisting.
Wait. So now goals matter? Okay.
Of course, goals always matter, bro.
So why didn't Ronaldo win last year?
What do you mean? Because Modric took a nation of 3.5 million, who's only been around for 20 years, to a World Cup final. Like, come on, that doesn't happen. And won the World Cup and the UCL. Like, of course, Modric deserved that World Cup, and that was I felt that was more of a lifetime achievement award more than anything, because Modric has been incredible for Madrid, and he deserves that. Like, stop trying to take that away from him. Croatia's never going to probably ever reach a World Cup final, at least not in our lifetime. That's
one thing, man. Trophy matters.
No, trophies do matter, but also performances are the most important. And nobody has been more consistent than Lionel Messi this season. Nobody, from start to finish. Ronaldo dipped in form. What's it called? Bernardo Silva dipped. Van Dijk had he didn't really have a rough patch, but they did have that away record where he was sort of, Messi. Aside from that away loss to Liverpool, has been incredible. Like even in that tie where they lost 4-2. He scored 2 goals, and one of them was an incredible free kick. So, come on, and he still has Supercopa to go. Like so, and Neymar's out, so Argentina have a good chance. He's gonna win that in Brazil if he does. So, like Messi, obviously, is number one right now.
But before I go to Ritz, I still think Van Dijk is in a strong position, but without a doubt, and this isn't even up for debate, I don't think they win it. But if somehow Messi leads Argentina to a Copa America win, then it's a done deal. Like,
but he won't though. Come on, man.
It's a done deal. So
what about reliable?
Not reliable.
Ritz, your top 3.
Yeah. So my top 3 would be Virgil van Dijk, Lionel Messi, and Eden Hazard. Okay. And that's in order. And I would like to explain why I put Virgil van Dijk as the winner over Lionel Messi. So for me to win the Ballon d'Or, you need to tick 2 boxes. Okay, you need to tick 2 boxes. The first box is that you need to be the best player in your respective position, or let's say you have to be one of the best players, and you have to be the standout best player in your team.
Okay.
And secondly, you have to win the Champions League or a major international tournament like a World Cup, an AFCON, Euros, or a Copa America. Okay. So Van Dijk, because see, last year, who's this guy? Griezmann finished above Salah and Messi. You cannot tell me that Griezmann had a better individual season than both Salah and Messi. It's just not true.
No. It was
World Cup.
That was fake.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what my point is. So because of his performance in a World Cup, that is a major international winning team.
Sorry to cut you off, Fritz. Griezmann also scored a brace in the final, if I'm not mistaken, and in the semi, he scored a solo goal against Arsenal.
Exactly. No, the Europa League doesn't count. So I'm sorry,
why
but
is Hazard in your top 3?
Wait. Let me conclude.
Hazard does have a World Cup.
Ritz,
So
2019.
Yeah. So Griezmann finished above Salah and Messi because of his performance in the World Cup, which is a major international trophy. So my point still stands. Okay. So these were the 2 things these are the 2 criteria which you need to satisfy to win the Ballon d'Or. And Van Dijk ticks both these boxes, while Messi does not tick one box, that is winning the UCL or a major international trophy. That's why Van Dijk should win it.
And what about Hazard?
He
doesn't tick any box.
To respond to Hazem, actually the 3rd spot is, in my opinion, is up for grabs because it's too early to say, because the AFCON is still to come, right? So if Salah or Messi,
thank you.
Salah or Mane win the AFCON, I think they deserve the 3rd spot.
No, if Mane wins it, Koulibaly is great.
Wait, don't look. We'll wait there. Dragoon, give me your top 3, please. Ballon d'Or.
Okay. 3, I'd go Sterling, but personally, it's a toss-up between Bernardo Sterling. First ever domestic treble, insane consistency.
Okay. So why would you go for Sterling or Silva though?
I just think, to be honest, I go Bernardo. Yeah, I think he played better in the big games, to be honest. But I think Sterling played really well, but I think Bernardo played a little bit better.
Okay. So you're saying Bernardo Silva is the 3rd best player in the world?
No,
that's what you're saying. If he's 3, you're saying he's the 3rd.
No, it's this season.
Wait. So what? So you're telling me Sterling deserves to be 3? Can you imagine Sterling the 3rd best player in the world? How sad is a sport if that's true?
Yeah, well, it's only a matter of time anyway. Next year.
What's it called? I want to add something.
Chill. Okay. So let me just hear your other 2. So Bernardo Silva is 3. Who's 2? Who's number 1?
Number 1's Messi, and number 2 is Van Dijk.
Wait, I'll add one point. I think adding like players like Hazard and what's his name and like Silva and Sterling. I mean, I guess Silva with the trophies, but I mean, Sterling is just a bias because they dominated EPL, but they did Europe. As far as Europe is concerned, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything in Europe. So I don't think you deserve if you don't do anything in Europe.
Hat-trick.
Wait. If that's the case, wait. Finish. If that's the case, then if PSG win a domestic treble, one of their player at least has to be in the Ballon d'Or, which everyone would disagree. So why should we be biased? Like with EPL and give
which PSG player scored a hat trick?
No. They're doing well for what is it called domestically. They're doing well domestically. And
wait. Liga is a famous league.
What's it called? Like Europe is the real test. If you do well in Europe, you get all the crops.
I have one question.
I agree with you 100%.
So here from Jujuman, FG, then Hazem. Jujuman, finish your point.
Yeah, but so because Europe is where we measure the teams. Because with the league, I mean, with EPL, City and Liverpool are way better than everyone else. They'll walk over everyone else. So I mean, is there a real test? The title is between two teams. Like those are the guys that are fighting. Who'll drop the least points? And so if we're giving that as an accomplishment, like we beat one team, and so I deserve Ballon d'Or for beating Liverpool. I mean, what's the difference with let's say Madrid or Barcelona beating another team, like, and just finishing like beating? You need the European competition. Okay. You need the European competition.
All right.
I say something HH2.
Sorry. FG.
Yeah. I just have a question for all the people who thinks Messi deserves it. If he, like, say after the Copa America, if he doesn't win the Copa America, does he still?
He doesn't deserve
win
it.
No. It's up until now. We were talking about up until now. Like that's it.
So
if he flops
in Copa America, which we all know he will.
Dude, FG, it's not even about flopping. If he doesn't win
it depends. I mean, like, if let's say
he plays well.
Double H. He can't make the final and lose again.
Wait. Let me answer before I give it to Hazem. If Argentina don't make it out of the group stage, then it negates everything he's done in the domestic season.
So what if he reaches? What if he reaches the final and lose?
Hey, I want to respond to that.
Wait. It depends how well he plays. If they reach the final and he loses, but he has played amazingly well, I'm sorry. When you combine that,
come on, that's 5 international losses in a row that happened.
I want to respond to that.
You could have put him top 3. I mean, come on, you have to at least put him top 3.
Look, I'm not putting losers. I'm not putting losers in top 3, man.
Okay.
I want to respond to that. I want to respond.
So I was going to go to Hazem.
Yeah, so I agree with Jujuman. This in the Ballon d'Or, you have to be proven to show up on the top stage, and that's Europe in the Champions League. Especially when we're talking about this year, as it stands, we're basically talking about the last 6 months, and in those last 6 months, the Champions League will catch everyone's eye, and that's the reason I'm not putting these City players in there, because I respect their domestic trouble, but I'm sorry, you have to show up. And
they did show up in the
no,
what are you talking about?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, you have to get past Tottenham. You have to get past
to Hazard's point. Like, Mbappe has had an amazing season. Like, no one knows, because Mbappe, like a 20-year-old, scored 33 goals second to Messi.
Wait, Juju, by your logic. Wait, by your logic,
he showed up in the Champions League.
The main reason why Mbappe is not even in the conversation is because of the Champions League, which Hazem said. That's why I think we need to use that with a domestic treble. I mean, they faced Watford or
Wait, Juju, let me respond to you. Okay, you said Europe matters, so then why don't you have Van Dijk over Messi then?
Because Messi has been amazing. Like Messi,
so was Van Dijk. Van Dijk
even when he lost, yeah, but Messi's
Van Dijk was only lost
the
once.
influence Messi has in the team is too great.
Van Dijk performed in Champions League.
Van Dijk's influence won them the Champions League.
No, he was
wait, can I just say one thing?
Wait, let me bring in Ritz, because he wanted to say. I'll go for Ritz and Ritz.
Yeah, so I want to respond to your point of Messi being close to the Copa America trophy, but then even Van Dijk was close to the Premier League trophy, right? So how can we count that out? Coming close and all doesn't matter. If in the end you have to win it, that's all matters.
That's true.
Okay.
I was gonna say, just a reminder to everybody: Messi scored 36 goals in the league and 13 assists. That's insane. Like that is Ballon d'Or worthy. I'm sorry if you have 50 goal and assists in a league campaign. That's not even counting the 12 in the Champions League. That's not even counting Copa del Rey. Like this guy has 50 plus goals this season. That is insane. Like I'm sorry. I know Van Dijk didn't get dribble pass, but what wins you games are goals.
No.
Games are goals.
Wait. I know. I need to push back on that. Not getting dribbled. For me, that is a bullcrap stat. And the reason why I still think Van Dijk is one of the best defenders in the world, probably the best. But that whole thing of not getting dribbled past, that's stupid because I watch the games. If you don't go out and commit yourself and you keep hanging back in a defensive team, of course you're not.
No, that's smart play though, dude. That's something. Double H. You're mentioning what you just said. What you just said is what you just said is why Ramos is not. Like defensively as great as Van Dijk because Ramos commits always. Van Dijk, he's smart enough to know when to commit and when to not.
Wait, no.
Wait, chill. Let me just explain my point. I know and I get that, and it's true. It's something that Deboa says that the best defenders just have to make a tackle. But I can't give you kudos for not getting dribbled past when you don't commit and you keep hanging back.
Exactly.
Remember the Napoli goal.
If you keep on committing, you keep on making those tackles and keep on winning those tackles, i.e. Lamb pretty much always put himself out there, and I can hardly remember how many times Lamb ever got beaten. It was very few times making tackles. But if you keep on hanging back, keep going deep, then obviously you're
but
anyone can do that. Exactly, anyone can do that.
Yeah, but what he did led Liverpool to one game. They only lost one game because of him.
Okay, look. Either way, it goes back. It just goes back to Messi. Like the point is, guys. Like even with that Messi, Van Dijk defensively, I know defenders are really good to have, and like you have to have a good, solid defense to win championships and leagues. But at the end of the day, Liverpool lost because they had too many draws. So yes, he did his job, but you know what? They needed a goal.
Okay, he won a Champions League.
The one thing with Van Dijk, the 2 point is. Double H, he said it. I saw it against Barcelona. He was backing off when Messi was going at him 1-on-1. He just backed off.
Because if he does that, he will lose, obviously.
And the other thing is, with Van Dijk, I almost forgot. The other thing is Van Dijk. I don't want to sound, evil, but I don't want to sound evil. But I just want to see him injured or maybe suspended. So I see Liverpool without Van Dijk. I want to see Gomez.
What's the first half of the season last season?
Because this influence.
Wait, chill.
I just want to see how do I
chill.
Bayern first leg.
Now, sorry. So just a super chat here from Gatlock, who says, "What is your overall team of the season? Use 4-3-3." Gatlock, I think that's going to be pretty tough because that's going to require a lot of thinking for us to do so. But maybe on next week's show, that's something that we can think about and say who is our team of the year. So before we get into Copa America discussion, Uncle Moo to Newcastle now.
Great deal.
Unpack this very quickly. So apparently Newcastle are in the midst of a massive takeover. And this is the reason why Mourinho will be joining them in a takeover. So let me just quick fire thing so we don't spend too much time on this topic. If Mourinho joins Newcastle and he gets given like 500, 600 million, what does he achieve? Does he win the league next season? What does he achieve? Money.
We win the league? What the hell?
Nah, he won't win the league. I don't think they'll hire him because Benitez did a good job, so there was no reason to fire Benitez, and he won't win the league. He has never built a team. Well, Chelsea, yeah, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening. So,
all right, Juju man.
With Mourinho, I think it's dangerous. It's dangerous making a team.
600 mil, man. Cat Branch can buy it if he wants 600 mil.
I don't know. I think it might be foolish to give you throwing money, giving it to Mourinho. I think he should find another coach because, first of all, he needs to prove that his coaching style has adapted to the modern game. Because he's still I don't know. He's still like his style is not up to standard right now. So giving him the money that is dangerous. That is the disaster. So Mourinho, I don't think it's a good idea. Okay.
All right, FG.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think me personally, I would like to see Mourinho manage Portugal, like for the next World Cup. I think he should just go to international because that would suit him best. Yeah, Santos is good, but I mean, I would give Mourinho the World Cup. And for Newcastle, I think this is a great thing because Mourinho is at his best is always when he's an underdog team. Like, when you look at his big clubs like Madrid and all, he never like really succeeds. When he's like an underdog with Porto, Inter, he always succeeds. And I think if he gets a Newcastle job, I think he can get like 5th or 6th place and get a Europa League with Newcastle.
Okay. Hazem.
Yeah, I don't think he can win the league. But he can win FA Cup. He can surprise people in the FA Cup. And in the league, look, man, it's not just like that. They just buy a couple of players and immediately you drastically improve. It takes time to build chemistry and everything. So I would say the finish, maybe push for Europa League place or hang around like 7th or 8th.
Okay, well, Hash. Well, I mean, look, it is Uncle Moo, but you guys are just hating. Hardcore Milanista, Uncle Moo. What with Newcastle if he's given a billion to spend?
I don't think he should go to Newcastle because they haven't won a UCL before, so I don't think he should go there. And I just feel like Newcastle will be like Man City 2.0. So I think it's better if Mourinho goes like FG was saying, like a Porto, maybe like a Marseille or even like a Lyon. I think Atletico is the perfect option for him.
Jeez.
Because again, I think Atletico needs that kind of manager who they need that kind of manager who's gonna help them win the UCL. And I think Mourinho is just that guy and the type of football Atletico plays.
What about PSG? What about PSG, bro?
PSG, okay. I can see him going to PSG too, because like PSG need like in terms of therapy session, they need
therapy session.
They need mentality therapy session. That's how I see it.
All right. So you're saying that he shouldn't go to Newcastle? That's what
come to Milan.
No, even PSG or Atletico. That's my.
All right. Rahimski, what can Uncle Mo achieve with Newcastle if given $1 billion to spend?
If you give him $1 billion, if you give him not only money,
we have FFP.
Can I just talk? It's my turn, man. Please. If you give him not only money, but time, and that's the most important factor because at a club like Newcastle, you're already 3 seasons behind the big clubs, so you have to give him time as well. And if you do, he'll win everything.
That's fair. Wait. What do you mean by everything?
I mean everything because we're talking about the second best manager of all time. If you give him the flexibility that he's never had, he'll win it all for you.
Boom. All right, Red. What kind of?
HH. I need time on this because I love this because I'm a huge Uncle Moo fan. So this is perfect. Uncle Moo right now, he can't go to one of the elite clubs because they won't give him time. He has too much of an aura around him, a toxic aura. People always people come in and always say, "Oh, he's pragmatic." They don't even know anything about his style. Like Mourinho was never a defensive coach. He was always tactical. He was strategic and he would counterattack and always developed some of the most entertaining teams we've seen in our era. So I think going to Newcastle because he would be the underdog, but he'd also have, if they're going to give him the funds, and he'll have the funds to build a team and sort of regain his confidence and regain that, or where he can go to a big club later like PSG and actually make demands. Because, for example, look at Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola can walk into any club in the world and choose and be like, I won't come to your club unless you get me these players. And they'll have to get him those players for him to join. Mourinho can't do that anymore because of his recent history. So this is perfect for him to come back, get his groove, sort of build a new resume so he could get better jobs. And with the Premier League, the same Premier League this season, the next season coming, I think he could get top 4 because Chelsea have a transfer ban. They've also lost Eden Hazard, and their starting 11, honestly, we don't know how they're going to cope without Hazard. Arsenal are still struggling so far. Like, they can't seem to make it in top 4. Spurs, they're going to be losing players this summer. So that top, and United, they're United right now. Let's not talk about them, but
which players?
Like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like we're not going to talk about United. So, he could get into top 4 if he gets them to Europe. Like Newcastle, people forget, but like Newcastle are a sleeping giant. They have a massive fan base. Like they're exactly like in the 90s, they were always regarded as some of the like an elite club. They were in Europe constantly. They never won it, yes, but they have pedigree. They're not a nobody club. So them get the money, get the backing. With the atmosphere that they have, I think, man, they could be a sleeping giant just ready to wake. And Mourinho could take them the extra step. And by the way, Benitez absolutely sack Benitez. I haven't watched a lot of Newcastle this season, but I remember watching the Chelsea game at the Stamford Bridge early on in the season. That was disgusting. They came in, they didn't even. I think they had like 10% possession. And like you can go and fact check me on that. The highlights for that game are like 30 seconds long. Like it was just pragmatic football. Like they were all 11 men were in the box. So yeah, no, they need to get rid of Benitez, get in a Mourinho upgrade, and I think they could challenge for top 4.
All right. Ritz, what can Uncle Mo do with Newcastle?
Yeah, so before anything, I don't even think the takeover, like when they take over Newcastle, I don't think the owners will be able to pump much money into the club like City did initially. Because when City did it, there was nothing called FFP as such. Okay, so I don't think they can initially like.
They don't do their job.
No. What I mean is, there was no FFP at that time, so Man City pumped money into the club, and they became successful. And now they are kind of living off the money which they are earning through competitions and sponsors and stuff. Although that is a bit dodgy, so I don't even think that Newcastle can completely, completely clone what City's model is. I don't think they can do that. Even if they do, I'm not sure Mourinho can like win the league or something with them. Obviously, it will take time. It took 2-3 years with City also. So I am not sure how well they'll do. But I can say one thing for sure: if someone outside the top 6 has to enter into the top 6, next season is the one. Like Red said, the top 3 is almost confirmed. Like Liverpool, Man City, and Tottenham is almost confirmed. The 4th spot is up for grabs because Chelsea without Hazard, they are going to struggle. Arsenal have their problems with their budget and all, and United are in shambles. So if teams like Wolves, Leicester, Newcastle with a potential takeover, they could cause some trouble with that 4th spot.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Sadragoon, what can Uncle do with Newcastle? $1 billion to spend. $1 billion.
Okay. I think you could get top 6, but I think FFP would be too much because they would like Man City have been probed pretty much every year now. It's like a monthly thing now. They're getting probed for it, so I don't think Newcastle would get away with it. But I think Mourinho is too much of a winner to go to Newcastle. It'll be quite a few years before he actually gets anywhere near winning a trophy with them because they're just not that good. And the money the top 6 are earning compared to everyone else just keeps on growing. So I'm not sure you'd want to like fight against that monopoly.
And I would add with Mourinho too. You mentioned the point. I think Mourinho is too big of a brand to play for small. For a club like Newcastle, his brand is too big. So
he barely has any brand.
No. Look, the one thing I'll say about Mourinho needs to go to PSG. I think PSG needs Mourinho, and Mourinho needs PSG. That is the only move.
I agree.
If he's coming back to coaching, that's the only move.
Thomas, wait, just to continue. Thomas Tuchel will never win the championship with PSG.
I agree.
Everyone knows here, and everyone in the chat room, I hope you can agree with me. Thomas Tuchel will never ever win the championship with the PSG. He is the wrong man for the job. He doesn't have the balls, doesn't have the bravery, doesn't have the swag, doesn't have the street cred in order to lead PSG to a championship win. Mourinho is the man that PSG need. That is the only chance of winning a Champions League.
Yeah, but and what's it called? And if Mourinho gets PSG to win, it's a win-win. Like this, I'm not sure why they're not doing it, but it's a win-win with Mourinho and PSG because Mourinho wins. He's back.
Dude,
he's back on top. He's back on top.
Wait. Sorry. So answer to this dude in the thingy. If Mourinho goes to PSG, Neymar bows down to him. That's it. That's it.
He would sell Neymar.
And Neymar ain't controlling Mourinho. That's not happening.
Yeah. And so yeah, exactly. And so what's it called? The weak mentality where people fluke like all these comebacks they're not going to come. They're not going to happen again. We'll never see another comeback because Mourinho won't allow a team to come back. He'll make these players mentally tough. So I'm not sure why they're not doing it, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. So basically, before we just go to our last topic, bro, all because Tuchel plays beautiful football with PSG doesn't mean that constitutes to success. PSG winning French trophies means nothing. They're a team built to win the Champions League. So if they've not won the Champions League, they failed for their season, and that's the fact. Copa America, guys. I have no idea. I don't know who's going to win this.
It's easy to win. Anyone but Argentina.
Let me land. I'll give you the platform, man. Neymar is going to appear for Brazil this Friday, so that's happening. I'm not accepting him skipping two Champions League, no cutting a row, and the Copa America. That's not happening. No way. If he does, I want him to be completely banned from professional football forever. But taking all things into account, guys, this is anyone's game because you have Brazil. Can they be trusted? Uruguay, this core of Cavani, Suarez, and Godin are coming to the end of their cycle. Colombia, do they have what it takes to win? Argentina, perennial losers. Chile, that cycle that we knew between of 2015 and 2016, that they've ended. So this is one Copa America where there really isn't a strong, full-on, healthy favorite. So if you're asking me who I think is going to win, and if I have to give you an answer.
Argentina.
Brazil.
Yes.
In all things account, I'd probably still say Brazil.
Really?
Even if, let's say, for example, let's say Neymar doesn't play, and this is the narrative that could really damage Neymar. Let's say Neymar decides not to feature in this tournament, and let's say Coutinho or David Neres somehow top scorer and stars and leads them to a victory, it will completely damage Neymar's legacy forever. So I'm going with Brazil to win it. Mane, who are you going for to win the Copa America?
I agree with you. I'm going to go with Brazil as well. Just because see what the Tite did this time. He put experienced players. Fernandinho got called up, and some of the older players too got called up. And as well as that, they're at home. So they really have to win this one. Usually the team that's at home usually wins Copa America. Like Chile won when they were in Chile. This time it's Brazil.
Argentina flopped in 2011, I believe. So
wait, that was Argentina.
Yeah, I think Brazil have to win it this time because I see no other competition. Uruguay is not as strong as they used to be. Chile is a nothing team, basically. Japan, I don't think so. So they're the only option. Really.
Oh my god, yeah. No. But
Qatar too.
I think they're going to be outsiders. Japan are going to be strong outsiders.
Wait, who won the Asian
Qatar wins Copa America, bro, I'm going to start asking questions. That's what I'm saying. I'll start asking questions.
Wait, who won the Asian Cup? Japan or Qatar?
Qatar won the Asian Cup.
Oh wow.
But to summarize, Brazil are by far the strongest team over all the teams, so they should win this easily, even with or without Neymar. So, especially being at home too, they have to win this one. If not, it's a complete failure. But yeah, they have to win.
Gigi man, who's taking the Cup America?
I'm going with Argentina. I think Argentina will win this Copa America.
Wait, slow down, chill. Now, take a deep breath. Think long and hard with what you say. Now, before you speak, let me just give you some stuff just to help you think. Argentina lost 3 back-to-back finals.
Yep.
Can I finish? Let me finish. 3. Not spaced out. 3 back-to-back finals. Now, let me add this one to it. You saw what they did at the World Cup last year. Argentina are trash. And Messi just plays for Argentina because he has to. His wife is Argentine, so he feels he just has to represent. Messi doesn't want anything to do with this team, and I think he knows that he doesn't have what it takes. None of them have what it takes to win. So with that being said, tell me, Jujiman, what is your logic that you think Argentina somehow going to win this Copa America?
Well, first of all, it was São Paulo is gone, so I knew it from the beginning. I know this Barca Twitter is like, oh, São Paulo this. I knew the guy since he lost to Shakespeare. I knew he's a fraud. He's a fraud. You can't lose to Shakespeare or whatever the coach is. So I knew this was a complete failure. The fact that he's out, that's a positive. That's the right step. Second of all, with the World Cup, it was all Sampaoli. It was all Sampaoli. This guy's tactic. He didn't even.
That was trash, bro.
But he's the one that picked him. He's the one that picked all this. We looked at the team, the players, and we were like, I don't know what this Sampaoli is doing.
Wait. So Aguero is trash. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but some the midfielders, he had Banega and Dybala on the bench, and some no names from South America that I've never heard of were playing. I was like, I know maybe they might be popular at home, but I mean they're not good enough for Europe. I don't know if they're top of the world, world class. I mean, and what's the other thing? And with this Argentina team, I think they've been the fact that they're not they're not at home, so the press is off because Brazil have the all pressure because everyone says Brazil, but Brazil they're too emotional. They're too emotional. And what's his name? Tite. I'm surprised he's not fired after that. The loss against Belgium in the World Cup, because I don't think Tite is a good manager. He's overrated in my opinion, and I don't know how he got the job. And I mean, unless someone in Brazil tells me, I don't know.
He was the best local manager.
Yeah, it's I don't know his accomplishment that gave him this job. But as for that, I think Argentina. Plus, you mentioned Double H. Argentina has been in a lot of finals, lost a lot of finals, and I mean, as long as they just keep going on, one of them they should win one of them. They should win one of them. They're going to win one of them.
Jujiman, you've just given me a very unconvincing argument why Argentina should win. Before I go to FG, so Supercharged from Original Base Annie, who says, if Argentina don't win, who do we question then? Well,
they're just not good enough. I mean, there's nobody to question. It's the team is not good enough.
If Messi is trash, let me say you're Messi. What the hell? If the tactics are trash, and say, manager, what the hell? If they're unlucky, that it's they're unlucky.
Wait. So you tell me?
Let's be honest.
What the hell?
Let's be honest. If there's no other player you could put in that Argentina team to make them win, nobody on the planet. So people saying Messi can't do it. Nobody in the world can do it.
Okocha can. FG.
Yeah.
FG.
Yeah, I'm going with Uruguay. I mean, I think they're the most complete team. Defense, solid. Midfield, solid. And attack, you have two great strikers in Suarez and Cavani. And I saw a picture of Suarez. He slimmed down. He looked like he lost 30 pounds, so that's good. And for Brazil, I think I'm done with supporting Neymar. I think Neymar's done. He's finished. I don't even think he's a top 10 player anymore with all these injuries these days. And the Brazil squad, I don't know what Tite's doing. That is the worst squad I've seen. No Fabinho, no Lucas Moura. And how does Willian get the number 10? It makes no sense. The Argentina squad, look, they have good attackers, but I can't recognize a single player from the defense or midfield. I don't see Messi winning this. He's probably going to go to the final and lose again. So, yeah, I'm going with Uruguay to win this whole thing.
Okay. Hazem.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go with Brazil because, and by the way, Argentina, I know they didn't do well in the World Cup, but they're not gonna do bad in this competition. I feel like they're gonna put a push, and I feel like they might reach the final again and lose.
No. If Argentina reach a final and lose, and Messi's on the pitch, I think Messi needs to retire.
Wait, he already did, and he came back.
I mean, look, Brazil team. I know Tite is not the best manager, but they have all the tools to work together to do this. And in international football, you don't necessarily need to have the most known or most experienced manager. You need to have a manager that knows how to utilize the players that he has and make the team work together. And I think Tite's been building up a good spirit in this Brazil team. And he didn't call up Fabinho, which was really bad. But
messed up.
they do have good replacements. Casemiro, Fernandinho, and some great players in the squad. You have Paqueta, obviously, Arthur, David Neres, Everton from the Brazilian league, who's been doing really well. Yeah, they have a really good squad. So I don't see any excuses for Brazil not to win this Copa America. But you could have surprises. And Argentina, look, man, I don't know what they're doing with not calling up Icardi. Messi, he's holding this team back by not calling up Icardi because we know
he's a cancer.
So I don't know why they're not calling up Icardi, because if they called up Icardi, we could see Argentina could have done something maybe.
Nah, they have Aguero, so.
But look, man,
and Lucas Martinez.
Bro, don't mention Aguero's name when it comes to internationals.
Bro. Wait, but don't you rate Aguero as like one of the best strikers?
How can you not call up Icardi? I don't get it.
No, but they have Lucas
He's not
Martinez,
good enough. That's why.
That's not the issue. Oh my god.
So you're going with Brazil.
Brazil.
All right. Arcom and Ernesto, who are you going with for Copa America?
Okay, so I'm gonna make this quick. So first,
yeah, right.
So 5 minutes.
Laessi can function without Jordi Alba. He can function without Xavi. He can function without Iniesta. Argentina have no Jordi Alba, so they're not. I don't see them as favorites. They are just nobodies in the Copa America. Sorry, they're average to me. They're an average team. The other thing too is I think for me, guys, I really do think, and I'm not gonna lie, but I see Uruguay winning this.
Let's go.
Wow.
Because
how?
Let me tell you.
They have the complete squad.
In 1952, when they hosted.
No, bro, don't give us a history lesson.
Okay, but to be honest, right? Brazil don't do well in home soil. They really don't do well in home soil. And what I see about Brazil and Argentina is once they lose their star players, like let's say Argentina loses Laessi, or let's say Brazil loses Neymar. They don't know how to function. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the other players can't step up. So that's why I'm saying, like, I just feel like this might be Uruguay's year. Because Uruguay, like, I look at that team, they have good chemistry, good back four, good midfield, a good attack. Like, what else do you want from the Copa America? That's
and they were impressive in the World Cup.
Exactly. You know, they were impressive in the World Cup. So I think they're going to use their mentality to win this, you know. And I think my second favorite is Japan. I'm looking at Japan.
Yeah, Japan are sneaky, man. Japan are sneaky.
They're very, very sneaky. Like, anything can happen, you know, because with those guys, how they play Belgium and so forth, I wasn't expecting them to get out of that group. And the way they played Belgium, like, my goodness, you know what I'm trying to say?
You know the funny thing.
Very scary.
You know the funny thing with the Uruguay point is Argentina only lost by 2 goals and Pavard scored a good goal, and Uruguay lost by 2 goals to the French. So how, like, despite playing really bad, how?
No, but Cavani wasn't there. Cavani was injured.
Yeah, true, but Argentina, even though they were that bad, like they lost to the 2 finalists, and it wasn't even that bad. So it's like,
they lost 4-2. They lost 4-2.
Win was more the way that France scored against Argentina was
it was a blitz, man. They blitzed them.
Basically, France got that ass. Like the Uruguay game was much closer. You know,
yeah, they scored from like a corner. They scored from a set piece, France.
So sorry. Before I get to Remsky, super chats from Original Base Annie, who says Icardi could save Argentina. Aguero isn't enough. Let me reiterate and repeat this. Aguero is a Premier League merchant. He's a Champions League flop, and he's an international flop. I have to rethink who I view Aguero as. I can never make him tier 1. You can't keep flopping internationally and in the Champions League. You're a Premier League merchant.
So wait, so Double H, give me one.
That who's tier 1? Yeah, who's tier 1?
Man, relax, man.
No, you're on the spot. You have to answer.
Let Rahimski speak. Rahimski, please speak. Who wins the Copa America, my dear son?
It's a good question. Obviously, I'm a fan of Argentina. I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're even going to make the final.
Nope.
Uruguay is a great point. It's possible that we can see a Uruguay-Japan final, because let's not forget,
we were all on Twitter hyping Japan up last year. Like
Yeah.
they were actually so sick. I think
Totally agree.
Qatar is it your turn? I don't think it's your turn. So maybe wait for your turn. Yeah, so I think Japan play the best football, but I think Uruguay have the grit, and most importantly, they have the experience. Because when you have a guy like Godin and Suarez that have been to finals like these,
are they too old though? Are they too old?
This could be a swan song for them, which is why I favor them.
So final answer is Uruguay.
Yep, final answer.
Interesting. Red, what do you say?
Okay. I think Brazil have this on lockdown.
Wait, what's on lock?
Yeah.
Like Brazil who got smacked down by Belgium. Come on.
Yeah, but Belgium's not in the Copa America, are they? So like, because look, Brazil today, didn't they win 7-0 if I'm not mistaken? Like they played today a friendly and they won 7-0 in that one.
Against who are they playing?
I honestly don't care, to be honest. I just saw the scoreline. No, but if we're gonna be honest, like I saw Argentina, like when they first these dudes were taking pictures with Messi. These are fans, not champions. They're not winning anything. Like let's be honest, like you can't like. I just don't see them doing it. Maybe Messi can't do it on his own. If now the narrative, what I think might happen possibly too, is like I think Uruguay. Because these guys started the decade by winning a Copa America, and they could cap off the decade by winning it again. You know what I mean? Like just bring it full circle. So that could be narrative why that could be very good. But to be honest with you, I just feel like Brazil home soil, and they have a lot of quality in that side.
Wait,
has many options.
Has Brazil ever won in home soil? They lost in like what, the 50s World Cup,
7-0
2014.
It's still like look, you're talking about 50 years ago. Maybe 2014 you could use that, but that was like one of the worst Brazil teams you've ever seen.
I don't think they can handle the pressure, to be honest.
No, we'll see. Okay, Ritz, your pick, Copa America pick.
Yeah, so I'll say it's between the two most balanced teams. That is on paper. That is the two most balanced teams are your Uruguay and Brazil. But I'll give the edge slightly to Brazil because they are at home and they have the more balanced, team. But then they lack.
Ritz, Brazil lost 7-1 when they were at home last time in a World Cup semi.
Yeah, but they still have the more balanced squad, though. If you know what I mean.
There's no Germany.
All right, Dragoons. Who are you going for?
I'm not. Okay, fair enough.
Going for Brazil. I think I see why people are saying Uruguay, but I think all their main players have gone even older, and then they're in the same group as Chile, Japan, and Ecuador. So I'm not sure they can even get out the group, and even if they did, they'd probably get tired by the group stage because the quality of opposition in their group is a lot harder than the other groups.
Okay. All right. So, last thing before we round off, I know I put this out obviously on my live show, but just to round things off, Hazard, Real Madrid player, it's a very simple question. How successful can Hazard be for Real Madrid next season? So this not overall. Next season, how successful can he be? Trophyless. He helps send them to La Liga crown, Champions League crown, La Liga and Champions League, a treble, or just the Copa del Rey. What happens with Hazard for Real Madrid next season? Manny.
I think those are two separate things. Real Madrid will probably win something either way, with or without Hazard. But since he's there, he's going to help them, especially with the transition from midfield to attack, which they've been missing. I don't see Isco as that kind of player. He's he dribbles too much, he holds the ball too much, and he's not very good at linking the passes when it needs to be. So Hazard is going to be a good fit, a great fit. I see him scoring about 17 goals in the league, his highest ever. And I think he'll link well with what's the guy's name? Jovic, yeah. They link well with Jovic and Vinicius. And he'll take off the pressure off Vinicius a little bit. So I think overall, it's a good buy, and he'll fit well with the team. So, yeah.
So what's... Tell me, La Liga crown, Copa del Rey, treble, Champions League, what happens with Hazard next season?
Well, they'll be strong in La Liga, but they just don't have what it takes for them. Maybe not this season, but maybe the season after. So the first season, I don't see them.
Then.
Yeah, maybe they'll do like Champions League quarters, semis,
Copa del Rey,
Copa del Rey, yeah, that's probably what they'll win, just as a consolation. But I don't see them winning the league, no, and I don't see them winning Champions League the first season, especially because they still have to put these players together, and it's hard. So yeah.
Okay. Juju man.
With Hazard, I think I alluded to this the other hangout, but I think it's all dependent on how he maintains his physical condition. Because if he shows up like Higuain, where he's overweight, then it'll be a slow start, and then the season will be long. Like he won't have his start season. But I already told like Abdul and Madrid fans, like if Hazard shows up in tip condition, I mean he's going to go off. He's going to go off. Like he'll have an amazing season.
Okay, so if he goes up in tip condition, what happens then? What trophies does he win?
Trophies, all three. Like they're going for all three. Yeah, they're going for all three. Yeah, but
he just jinxed Madrid right now.
Yeah, they're going for all three. Like seriously, you know how hard it will be. Don't forget they have now.
Bro, they have Zidane's manager.
They have what's his name? Like Jovic. They have Mendy, Mendy. They'll have him soon, and like their signings too, like Militao. But the only concern that I have is Zidane, because I'm not sure. He
can't play trophies, bro. Come on.
Hopefully he doesn't just spam crosses like he used to do and rely on like quality of the players. Like as strange as it might sound, this team would perfectly suit a Tuchel where he just lets everyone express themselves. Like because the team is too talented. So I think Madrid are up for. That's it. I think Madrid are up for 3 trophies next season. They're going for all of it because I think they're really good, and I'm excited to watch the team.
All right, FG.
Yeah, I think Hazard's gonna have a great year individually. I think this is a great signing for Madrid, but I don't see him winning a trophy. Maybe Copa del Rey, but because I'm looking at these signings, Jovic for 60 million, is he world class? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, bro.
Then you have. I'm not even sure if he's better than Benzema, to be honest.
Whoa,
he's not.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Young, though.
60 million for a guy who's not better than. That's a problem. Then you have Mendy.
Hey, there's only 1 or 2 players better than Benzema on the planet right now.
Yeah, right.
Okay, then Mendy. I mean, he's a good signing, but let's be real. He's not gonna be. I don't think he's ever be like as good as Marcelo when he was at his best. Then who else are they by Militao? He's not gonna be. He's not gonna start over Ramos or what do you call it? Varane.
Yeah, that's depth.
So, yeah, but I don't know. The major problem with Madrid is Zidane. I can't trust this dude. I don't think he's ever gonna win a trophy again with Madrid. He's only good for like recruiting players because he's just got like the Zidane fact. He's basically Zidane, so he can get any player he wants. Madrid, they should just sign all the players they need, then they sack Zidane and hire a proper manager, and then they'll win something. Like, just use this dude for like buying players.
That's very good, man. Hazard. What can Hazard do, man?
Yeah, man. I think Hazard he's gonna do really well in Madrid. And look, these guys are going for a Galactico summer transfer window. So we saw Jovic, Hazard, and I expect another big one in midfield like Pogba. So if they manage to get Pogba, my goodness, that team is now looking very, very dangerous. And not only do we have those star players, we have up and coming Ceballos, who's great in midfield. Obviously, Cruz is going to continue his form. Man, these guys, I expect them to be back to challenging in the Champions League. There's not going to be any pushovers, and they could really challenge. Still too early to say whether they could win it, but Hazard definitely will win a Champions League at his time in Madrid. And I think next season they can win La Liga. I feel like they're going to be putting more focus on La Liga now. Now that Barcelona have had such a period of dominance, and I think Madrid really feel the need that they need that La Liga to get some more bragging rights. So look, man, Hazard is definitely going to win trophies in this Madrid, and especially if they sign Pogba. My goodness, this guy they could really help Hazard to become. Look, man, he could be in contention for Ballon d'Or next season.
All right.
So yeah, man.
So before I get to Monsaha, a dude just wrote that Real Madrid haven't beaten Barcelona at the Bernabeu since 2014. That's messed up, man.
But that's thing
That's
is
only in the
Madrid, no,
league.
Madrid do better at the Camp Nou and vice versa.
That's
so. That's
Navas and Zidane have never lost at the Camp Nou.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
They do better.
fact.
They do.
And in the Supercopa last season, we battered them at the Bernabeu.
Exactly. They do better at the new
I
camp.
want to start a kind of warm. Okay, Muntaha, what can Zad do for your club next season?
HH, man, look, man. Like, let me be realistic with you guys, man.
Yes.
Okay, we got Eden Hazard. We have what do you call Ferland, Mendy. Okay, though he's injured, like there's some reports, but I think so he'll join. Then we have Luka Jovic, it's like kind of prospect. Okay, he's a goal scorer because he used to play in like Eintracht Frankfurt, so I cannot really trust on him. Like, okay, this guy can give us 15 goals. Still, like, to be honest, I'm pessimistic with the approach. Like, we need some of the more players. We need more goals. Look, Eden Hazard can give you max 20 goals. Or like, okay, this is La Liga, a bit more easier defensively. Then make it 25. Still not enough. Look, I have
not 25.
Yeah, look,
assist, bro.
Look,
25 is on 40
40 is the minimum.
Let's start at 17 to 20.
Wait. So what I'm trying to say over here is that for us to win La Liga, it's not to just win the away games against Sevilla, Valencia, Betis, Getafe, Real Sociedad. Man, these teams are like, usually cost us a lot. And we lost this game. Like, okay, this season was a massacre for us. Even before that, when we used good, like we used to drop the points against these teams. So my thing is, like, if we win like away games and on top of that, because we all know that Valverde is staying one more season. And this time, this is his last chance to grab Champions League.
Yep.
For next season. So he might focus on Champions League. So we have kind of advantage what they used to do, what Barcelona did in 16-17 season. They were a bit more reluctant with the league because they won Champions League at that time with Luis Enrique. Yeah.
Wait, who's focused on Champions League?
Barcelona and Valverde.
Oh,
yeah. So we have a kind of advantage over there, but still I cannot say that. Okay, look, man, I'll say like he can win La Liga with us. Yeah, Copa del Rey is possibility, man. Yes, Copa del Rey. Yeah. I can't see. Sorry to say, man. I cannot say Champions League. Come on, man. I have to be realistic over here. To be like maximum quarterfinals with this current Madrid squad. That's it.
All right. Rahimski.
What do I think we can win? I think we'll go deep in every competition. How deep? I don't think we'll make. I think the competition will actually disappoint in is going to be the Champions League. I can see us going out in the quarters. Hazard's a great player, but is he a great Champions League player? We'll see.
No.
Now when it comes to okay, so when it comes to the league, it's our bread and butter at the end of the day. That you have to start a transition period and be successful in that transition period by winning the league. Can Hazard do that for you? He's got the clutchness factor. That's why Chelsea are in third this year. Some of his goals were outstanding. Sure, he doesn't score the most, but he scores when it matters or he assists when it matters. And that's what we need right now. Hazard's not very physical, but you don't need that in a league like La Liga, especially because he's playing off the physicality of Benzema and Jovic anyway. Now, when it comes to what we're actually going to win, I don't think we're going to win silverware, which I know sounds a little disappointing. But I think if my plan goes accordingly, Messi should be able to get poisoned by about April. So if that actually works, then I can see us possibly winning La Liga. If not, then we'll go trophyless. But
wait, I have a question. If let's say Madrid goes trophyless, who gets the blame? Does Zidane get sacked?
It's impossible. It's
impossible.
You're telling me Zidane is gonna break the curse?
Wait. Let's go with red. So Hazard.
Yeah. Trouble season, HH. Trouble season. And it's not just because Hazard. No, guys. This is the energy. This is the energy we should be on.
What you're saying,
HH. Think about what I'm saying. HH, you guys think about what you're saying. Look, first of all, this Madrid side, this season that we went through, it's an anomaly. This is the first time in 20 years that we went through something like that. We still have one of the best backlines in Europe. We have 2 World Cup winners in our back line. Carvajal is still a quality right back. Odriozola has been a signing of the season for us. He was incredible this season. Left back, we're getting Ferland Mendy. Marcelo's up to him if he wants to stay or not. We offered him if he wants to stay, he can stay. But we've made it clear that he will no longer be Madrid's star left back. We also have we have options with Hakimi, Theo Hernandez, and Reguilon now. So we could pick our we have depth in our back line. And now with Militao, he's not going to be starting. But if we run into a scenario like this season where we had what's it called, Ramos getting a red card in the or a yellow card, and he was banned from the quarterfinals, we'd have to start Nacho. We have Militao now, so we have depth in that position.
Yeah.
So that's going to be excellent. And for midfield, we still haven't made our midfield signings. We have a ton of signings that we could possibly make. So we want to...
Wait. Don't forget, Red, don't forget Isco Hazard. I cannot wait.
No, exactly. Isco Hazard. You have Isco, you have Hazard, you have Benzema that could link up. Like
wait,
that's
who said Isco's going to... I doubt Isco's starting, man.
Nah, Isco Hazard will be amazing.
Look. At the end of the day, regardless if Isco starts or not, we still have quality players. We still have Cruz, who's now who's extended, and I think we can still get a lot out of him. We have still possible signings in the midfield. We have the only thing we need still is I think we still need a right winger because midfielder because we're they're clearly looking to buy midfielders, but right wingers because I still haven't seen us connected with anybody that I think we can. That's going to give us a lot of hope.
Red. Can I add some one point over here, please?
Please go ahead.
Yeah,
bro.
look. Yeah, my problem is creativity. We have so many creative options. Isco, Eden Hazard. The problem is goal scoring.
Yeah, but see, Muntaha, here's the thing. I was gonna get there. I was going from the back line to the front. So see, with our goals now this season, we had only Benzema that got us 30 plus goals, third highest in Europe, by the way, behind Mbappe and Messi. But without those stats aside, if we could just add more threat with Benzema, if Hazard doesn't need to score 50 goals, because let's be honest, nobody's replacing Ronaldo. What we need to do is spread those goals. Now that we have Jovic, if he can get us 20, that's excellent. Just give us the same return he gave Frankfurt.
So Red, let me ask you this, okay? So let me ask you this, so the Madrid, before I get to Dragon, because I want Dragon. Actually, let me just let Dragon get his points off. Then I want to ask something to the Madrid. So Dragon, Hazard, what trophies does he win next season, if any?
I think he wins the Copa del Rey. Purely because I think Barca are just going to be concentrating on the league and they won't be able to rest sort of their players while Madrid is so far away.
So no Champions League or no La Liga?
No. That midfield isn't good enough yet. But if they add like some more midfielders like Pogba, then we can have a title race.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right, so before I ask this question, let me just do this super chat. So Gatlock says, save this El Clasico Champions League knockout stage next season. Interesting.
That's never happening again.
And Nassim Foran says Hazard versus Messi sounds tasty. Yep, that's Clasico is going to be interesting. So let me add this to these Madrid fans. Obviously, other guys can chime in after they've answered. Hazard, where do you play him? Do you play him wide left, number 10, or you give him a free role? So let me start with Muntaha, and I'll go to Ramsey then Red. So Muntaha, where would you play Hazard for him to have the best effect? Wide left, free role, or number 10?
For me personally, man, look, the way Hazard plays in Chelsea, I want him exactly played like that. Like, in a sense, not defensively. Like, I don't want him to come with defensive contribution, play free roam. Go everywhere, man. Like, it's your team. We are building around you. You give us best in terms of creativity and goal.
So this is Hazard's team. This is his.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. Go play, bro. Like there is no restriction over you. Do whatever. Produce results. This is the thing. Look, we can Zidane can restrict because we all know that Zidane appreciated Eden Hazard since 2010. This is Zidane's boy, to be honest. Like many people say, oh, we are linked with Real Madrid before now. When Zidane was sporting director in Real Madrid, he appreciated Eden Hazard, but nobody knows how good player he was back in 2010. So this guy is going to get all the rights and everything, bro. So like. For me, I think so. The start of season, he should start as a left winger, but as season goes by, he should get more and more freedom in this team. More specifically, I'll just come to your point over here, Hedgehog. Look, man, Eden Hazard can give us so many things, and I'm not denying that. Okay, we can produce chances, but at the end of the day, look, Benzema was great this season. Okay, and I'm apologizing for my mistakes. What I said, okay, Benzema wasn't that great compared to last season, but he was great this season. But
apology
accepted. Yeah, but I need a prolific world-class goal scorer. Without prolific world-class, bro, look. You can beat Barcelona in El Clasico at times, but when you go away in La Liga, yeah. Especially teams like Eibar and all those guys, you need a point. You need at least a 1 point from that fixture. We never get that point. Even we were good. Back in 16-17, we struggled against that. So the problem is that you have to see the identity. We don't have proper away identity in La Liga. Barcelona have. So if like with Eden Hazard, you can get that, but you need another goal scorer next to him.
All right.
Munta,
Okay, wait, chill. Okay, so Rahimski, where do you play Hazard then for the team?
You know what? This might sound a little crazy, but I would say left midfield because I want Jovic to actually get some minutes, man. I don't want him on the bench. If that means playing with Benzema, then we'll see how that'll work out.
4-4-2.
We'll see what's possible. But for me, he has to be on the left flank at least, either left midfield or left wing. Maybe transitioning between the two. Historically, free rolls have not really worked for us in this generation. James tried it, didn't really work out. Isco tried it, didn't really work out. Last time it kind of worked was Ozil, but he had to play off Ronaldo in a completely different system with a manager that actually plays that system. So I don't think a free roll is feasible. As for me personally, I would play him left wing.
All right. And Red, where do you play Hazard, bro?
Left wing. I need width in our attack. I need more danger from the left. The problem is our season. All our danger was coming from Vinicius off the left. Now we need to. I think we can play. We can because we got Rodrigo and Vinicius. I think we can rotate between them on the wings. They could be good backup for Hazard, and they can go under Hazard's wing for the future to develop them. But Hazard stays on the left. You have Benzema and Jovic can both play as striker because if we're competing on all fronts, we're gonna need more than one striker. We need more than one world-class goal scorer. The scores have to be shared. There's only one team in Europe that has a world-class goal scorer that they could rely on, and that's Barcelona. If you look at Bayern is a good shout, but they still share amongst themselves the goals. If you look at Man City, they have Aguero, they have Raheem Sterling, they have multiple players that get goals. You look at Liverpool, you have Salah, you have Mane, you have Mourinho will show up with a little bit of goals. That's what we need in Madrid. Because we don't have a phenom anymore. We have incredible talent, incredible players, but they have to all show up at different stints in the season. We have to know how to utilize them efficiently, and I think Hazard most efficiently will be on the left. Maybe if you want to say in last minutes of the game, you can put him more centrally and bring Vinicius onto the left to do more of the yards, going back and forth, and that way Hazard can have more of a attacking role only. But overall, man, we need to keep him on the left. That's his best position. We should play him in his best position. I saw him as a false nine this season. I saw him sort of like as a second striker, almost behind playing off Giroud and Higuain. I didn't like him that much. I didn't find that was his best position. I think off the left when he drifts in between the lines, I think that's his best position.
Red, bro.
Wait, can I add?
Red, can I say something?
Go, yeah, I'm done.
So what was your stat about Benzema?
Then Hazard, just to run.
Right. Well, yeah, but with Munta's point, I think you're underestimating Jovic. I think I guarantee he'll get at least 20 goals because the one thing.
Bro, that's not a guarantee, bro.
No, it's guaranteed.
He plays for the Bundesliga.
I know he plays for the Bundesliga, but the one thing, that's why I speak confidently on strikers, where I've been consistently right on strikers that are good. And the one attribute I look in strikers is their technical ability. Jovic is technically gifted. And the one thing about this guy is he's only good, like he has a career because of his finishing, not because he's good or like good link up or anything. He's really good finishing, and he has a good technical ability. Because I've seen like some of the goals the man scored. It's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult. It's not like tap-ins. Some of them were where he chipped the goalkeeper.
Juju, can I?
Wait. And the other thing with the league, I think Madrid are like overwhelming their favorites for the league because now they have a player like Messi and Hazard, where the one key with Hazard is he's a pain. You have to like foul him a lot, and that helps a lot because with Hazard he dribbles in, you can't do anything, so you have to foul him a lot. It's like a Madrid's version of Messi. They're not this equal in ability, but he's like a Madrid version of Messi. So I think, and with Messi getting old, I mean, Madrid just look like there's a higher chance of Madrid winning the league.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Hazem, round off.
So Red, what was your stat about Benzema? Something behind Messi only?
Messi and Mbappe, yep.
What's the stat?
I don't exactly remember.
Dude, don't bring
Lewandowski has more goals than Benzema in all competitions. That's all.
Munta.
Yeah. Look. What I'm saying to you, Juju, over here. Look, Jovic is great, okay? Potentially he's great, but I want he's not a proven one. At the end of the day, You understand that? And
It's
that
a risk.
jersey, man.
It's a risk.
I won't say it's a risk because it's a kind of a player, like, a team player in a sense. We bought him because, like, okay, we didn't expect him to score 50 goals. Come on, that's not what we are expecting him. But we are expecting a kind of impact subs. The way he comes, like in 16-17, the way Morata played for us. If that thing happened for us, like the way Jovic come score 16-17 goals.
But wait. Can I respond to that? Just real quick. Jovic is better than Morata. If you look at this guy's highlight, this guy gets on the end. Hear me out. Let me just finish one sec. All I'm saying is Jovic, he has the ability to get on the end of crosses. Like I saw this one point where he got like this awkward cross, and what did he do? He lifted it and just did like a sort of a back heel. Like it was like this guy. He just gets on the end
red. But depend upon Jovic, yeah. Like we cannot. It's a kind of suicide, bro. Come on, man. Like you cannot just solely depend upon Jovic. Okay.
But we're not. That's why we got Hazard. That's why you have Benzema. That's why you have other players around him.
Bro. Look. What I'm trying to say. Away games.
With the point I'm making is that I think in the issue here is like, look, of course goals can be spread around, which is cool because again, if Zal gives you 12, if Benzema can give you 10, if Jovic can give you 16, Isco can give you 4-5, that's so cool, and maybe Bale or another right can give you something. But I think to be on the safe side, Real Madrid need a 25G striker.
And the thing is,
minimum. Because I don't think that, and this is what I said, I don't think Hazard, Vinicius, Isco, Jovic, Benzema, that's not enough to dethrone Messi next season. Because Barcelona will try a big player next season.
Yes.
I don't wait,
Messi, we need more than Hazard, Jovic, and Benzema.
That's why I think you guys are underestimating Jovic because I saw the level of difficulty. Because anyone can score tap-ins, but the goals this guy was scoring, like even we don't have to go far. Like they head against Chelsea. Like how many strikers are putting that in? That's a difficult goal.
Juju, but the level of difficulty in La Liga is way higher than Bundesliga, bro. Please try to understand.
And also, don't forget, Jovic has as many goals in Stamford Bridge as Thierry Henry. So let's just keep that in mind.
But he'll get more chances.
Okay, like look, we will see next Sunday. We shall see you guys next Sunday, guys. We could be here forever. Next Sunday, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.